you know, what I can say about Metallica is that, you know, at the end of the day, we're having fun. You know, we're working on new music for a new record.
I never made it, you know, to a Metallica live concert. I'm sitting here talking to you. It's totally crazy for me, man.
I'm 55, so I grew up with Public Enemy and NWA, and they were having a good time too. You could just see the look on the musicians, you know, they're like, yeah.
Was geht, Freunde? Mein Name ist Rooz, eine neue Folge von Was los? Freunde, ihr wisst, bei Was los gibt es immer spezielle Sachen. Ihr wisst, Freunde, ich habe hier Metallica am Start, Freunde. Und zwar der Bassist Robert Trujillo, der ich glaube, das ist jetzt mittlerweile der dritte Bassist bei Metallica seit Anfang 2000. Da war eine unglaubliche Erscheinung. Ich will später, am Ende der Sendung, reden wir über die Geschichte von Metallica ein bisschen, wie mich das geprägt hat. Ich will nur sagen, Rooz, was hat das mit Hip-Hop zu tun? Ja, Freunde, ziemlich viel. Es war ja natürlich, Gitarre war damals Mainstream, war das größte Ding so, weißt du, alles, Guns N' Roses, aber auch Nirvana und so. Aber auch Sepultura, Suicide Tendencies, wo auch Robert auch Bassist war früher, Megadeth, alles habe ich gehört. Aber man kann es auf eine Band reduzieren, sozusagen eine Band stach immer so raus, dass mich dann zu Hip-Hop rübergebracht hat, und zwar Body Count. Das habe ich auch schon mal erzählt in einer anderen Sendung, Body Count. Dann habe ich mich sehr für die Mucke interessiert, habe es sehr gehört, dann habe ich mich sehr für den Frontmann interessiert, weil der so cool war, Ice-T. Ja? Dann habe ich seine Alben gehört und schwuppsdiwupps war ich im Rap-Bereich viel unterwegs und dann schwappte das natürlich nach Deutschland und so weiter. Auf jeden Fall, ich will euch nicht totlabern. Robert, ein gutes Gespräch, sehr netter Typ, und wir sehen uns am Ende der Sendung noch einmal wieder, wie ich dann auch verrate, wie ihr das neue Album, natürlich gibt es ein neues Album, die haben, vor 20 Jahren haben die ein Album gemacht mit einem Orchester zusammen. Ich weiß nicht, ob die Metallica die erste Band war, die das gemacht hat, aber schon sehr, sehr früh. Ein ganzes Album mit dem Orchester, jetzt gibt es den zweiten Teil sozusagen wieder mit dem ganzen Orchester zusammen. Hierzulande hat das Motrip, glaube ich, auch schon mal gemacht mit dem ganzen Orchester. Und wir sehen uns am Ende der Sendung noch einmal wieder, Freunde. Ich halte das Intro kurz. Viel Spaß mit Robert. Oh man, nice to see you, man. Are you good?
I'm doing good. I'm doing, you know, I'm good. It's been a crazy day. I slept in because I had like 3 hours sleep last night. We had a full day where we actually were with the bands working in San Francisco for the last 2 weeks. And then, I had to get up at like 4 in the morning and do a performance yesterday. And then it was like a kind of a full day. And then I drove back to LA, and I missed my first interview, but I'm here and I'm ready.
Nice to see you, man. It's unbelievable. And for me, it's kind of like really unbelievable. I don't know if they told you what I'm doing. I'm working for an outlet in Germany. It's hiphop.de. It's hiphop.de. Like, it's like hip-hop music. Mm-hmm. So, but cool. The guys from university, they know me. They know, I mean, like, I grew up with you guys. I grew up with metal, with Suicide Tendencies. I don't know, Sepultura, everything, all of this. And actually, you know, through Aerosmith and all these crossovers with Run DMC and all this, I found myself in hip hop, you know. And then
that's good.
And then, I mean, this is like crazy for me because I was away from you know, all the metal music, and I don't know, 10 years, 15 years later, now I interview you. For me, like crazy, man. I never made it, you know, to a Metallica live concert. I was always saying, man, why I never made it, man. And now I'm sitting here talking to you. It's totally crazy for me, man.
Well, the next time we're in Germany, you come see us, and then you'll have an appreciation for Metallica again on a live level, as well as your hip hop too, you know, because we also in our household, you know, my son is a musician, he plays metal, but he also writes hip hop music too. So he loves hip hop, and yeah, I mean, all music is great, you know.
Yeah, I know your son is playing like you, bass, right? And he was on tour, everything, man. It's crazy. He's so young and he was on tour.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was doing that. Yeah, it's and he does his own thing, you know. I mean, he's got his little studio and his creativity, his songs. You know, our whole family is very focused on creativity, whether it's art or, you know, playing drums or music or whatever. And then we also like the outdoors. So between skateboarding and surfing and hiking and everything, we're pretty active, especially during these times. think it's important to just kind of keep yourself busy and get outside.
Yeah, totally. But isn't it crazy? I mean, last time you just said you are. Where are you right now? You're in West Side, right?
Yeah, I'm in Southern California in Los Angeles, but we live fairly close to the beach, but we're also in the mountains. Yeah. So it's kind of nice because you get the seclusion and the quietness at night, and then you want to go into town or you want to go to the city. It's not too far. Yeah, man. It's a good balance.
Yeah, man. I was like, I don't know, 3-4 months ago, I was over there in Inglewood. I interviewed Snoop Dogg. So I was like, oh, really? I was thinking about like for your son, isn't it? You know, when I came to hip hop, it was really small. Everything was, everything was Nirvana, everything was Metallica, everything was this side, and people were laughing at me at school. What is hip hop, man? Your pants is too big, and what are you doing, man? They were laughing on me. And nowadays it's like opposite, right? I mean, if your son is growing up over there, everything is hip hop. So if you play bass, so it's like people are going like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, I mean, I like. I love it when he's writing something that's hip hop and then he puts a real bass line on there with a real bass. I'm like, that's what I like. There's even been times where he's playing, he's writing something and I hear it from downstairs and I'm like, let me play on it. Let me put a bass line on it. So yeah, I mean, I think, hip hop music, for me, in the old school sense, I grew up around, look, I'm 55. So I grew up with Public Enemy and NWA. And even before that, Beastie Boys but I always enjoyed it more when there was real bass and some real instruments in there. And that's just the balance that that I like. And before that, even in the 70s, I grew up with a lot of funk music and soul music. But at the same time, I was experiencing a lot of rock and roll and Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin. So it's always been kind of a multi-stylized existence for me with music.
Yeah, that was my question, with which hip hop artists you listen to, but you told already. But what's crazy about Metallica through all these years? I mean, so many years in the business, and then hip hop is rising, and all of the bands out there making collaborations and featuring, but not Metallica.
Well, no, we were just talking about that yesterday.
Oh no, really?
No, we were talking about. I guess before I was in the band, Metallica did a collaboration with Swizz Beatz and Ja Rule, and but it was a long time ago. We also,
crazy.
We did a couple thing. We did a collaboration. This is not hip hop, but we did a collaboration with Lou Reed. We did a performance with Lady Gaga. So we're not against doing collaborations. We just. It's like if someone, pursues that idea and wants to, then they'll ask us, we haven't been asked lately. but I mean, I'm telling my son always, hey, you should, sometimes he'll have some ideas and he'll play me some new artists. And I'm like, hey, you should, maybe someday you can work with that person, with metal, you know what I mean? Combining the metal side of it in his sort of brand or his style. So, yeah, I mean, we're never against trying new things, I mean, we just played with an orchestra, a few months ago. Yeah, S&M2.
This is really crazy, man. You excited about it? This is your first time, right? I mean, is this the second?
Yeah. This is my first, but I'm excited because it's just such a powerful, like the sonic size of the sound. Sonically, it's just really beautiful, and and they were having a good time too. You could just see the look on the orchestra, the musicians, you know, they're like, you know, and because it's different for them too, you know, it's a new experience for some of these people.
You know, Robert, nowadays you guys, you have names, you have fame, you are Metallica, you know, they're respecting you. But, you know, when I was learning the guitar back in the days, I was always had the feeling, you know, these real musicians with the, you know, they don't respect us. So I wanted to ask you, if you jamming with them, do they really respect you? You know what I'm saying? Because they think like they are the real, you know, musicians. And
I totally understand what you're saying. The generation of musicians now that are in classical, what I found, at least from the San Francisco Symphony, respected Metallica and also had a great time. And a lot of them, you got to understand, on the first S&M one, most of those musicians were older than the band members.
Yeah.
And then now S&M2, you know, like, 3/4, you know, like more than half of the musicians were younger, you know, so they would have probably grown up to a certain degree. They would have grown up with some Metallica, and some of them were just really fans, you know, even though they do classical music as a main source of income and everything. They, you know, they appreciated and really were excited about this experience. I was going to say is it was you know, with Metallica's music, the songs, in a way, their arrangements have always worked really well. Right? Yeah, you know, the layers
totally.
of melodies and harmonies and everything that works real well with an orchestra.
I think it is a lot of influence from the orchestra type of music in metal, always have been. You know, now talking about this, you know, the songs of Metallica, when I grew up, real good songs was like 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, right? If you go now to Spotify, or I don't know, in America, you guys use Apple Music, I think, the songs are getting shorter and shorter. What?
Yeah, but
I mean, like, what is that?
Not ours, though. I mean, we our songs are still long. We actually sometimes we try to make them shorter, and they're still long. You know what I mean? I've had people say, like my sons, like, your song's like 6 minutes long. You know, like I'll be working. Because for a while, recently, I was working on some new stuff, and he was recording me because I didn't have my studio set up. So he was recording me in his studio. He was like, why are your songs so long? You know, 6 minutes, you know, that kind of thing. And, but then he has long songs too. So, yeah, I mean, you know, we have to try to balance it out, because sometimes, we have to edit our songs down because they go from sort of 9 minutes to 6 minutes, you know, and sometimes it's just a challenge to get them down to, like, you know, 3-4 minutes. There's definitely, you know, it's like, at the end of the day, it's whatever the song needs, you know. I mean, some songs are great at sort of 2.5 minutes. A lot of punk songs are shorter. Yeah. And that's awesome. You know, one of our songs on Hardwired was, around 3 minutes, the opening track. Which is entitled Hardwired. So it happens, you know, it happens. It hasn't been a known thing for Metallica, though. Metallica, yeah, you're right. Usually it's a journey, you know. It's like artwork. It's like, you know, it's like elaborate piece of art.
It's good, man. I mean, listen.
Hi, Rooz. We've only got like 2 minutes left with Rob, so it will have to be the last question. Sorry.
Okay, I got you. You heard that, Robert?
Yeah, I'm here.
They give me one more question, man. With Robert from Metallica, I have one more question. What did I do? Which question? I have thousands of questions, man. Okay, let me no question here. I just want to thank you, man. I was following you when you joined Metallica. It was for me like, I mean, metal back in the day was white people's music, man. I was loving it when you joined it, man. I love you. Thank you for everything. I hope I see you on tour. And I mean, I wanted to say good luck with the album, but man, you guys Metallica, you don't, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I hear you. You know, I appreciate you and I appreciate this interview and your kind words. And, you know, what I can say about Metallica is that, you know, at the end of the day, we're having fun. You know, we're working on new music for a new record. And this whole thing with the pandemic it's important. You know, of course, we've created a bubble where everybody, you know, we're testing every other day. So that's how we were able to get together. And now we will work remotely for a while from our home studios, but still writing and always challenging ourselves, finding a way to bring the music to the people. So you know, just again, be safe. Everybody's be positive and safe, and we'll get through this and have a whole bunch of new music for the world. Like not just Metallica, but everybody that's creative, you know, get out and make things happen, you know, on a positive level. And
thank you very much, Rod. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
All right. Take care.
Freunde, yes, yo! Schreibt mir bitte in die Kommentare, wer von euch auch Metallica hört und trotzdem Hip-Hop hört. Ne? Macht bitte kein Entweder-Oder-Ding draus. Was hat mit Hip-Hop zu tun? Viel! Freunde, schreibt mir in die Kommentare, welches ist dein Lieblingsalbum von Metallica? Und ich suche mir einfach einen der Kommentare aus. Genau. Achso, ja, pass auf. Nicht hier auf YouTube, ne? Wenn ihr das gerade auf YouTube seht, schreibt mir gerne Kommentare, gerne. Aber geht bitte auf mein Facebook. Nee, Quatsch, Facebook. Vergiss Facebook. Instagram. Geh auf Instagram. Ich werde dieses Video auf IGTV hochladen. Auf meinen Instagram-Kanal. Und da bitte kommentieren, weil da kann ich euch anschreiben. Da schreibe ich einen an und der bekommt dann die Box mit Vinyl, alles drum und dran. Weil auf YouTube kann man ja niemanden mehr anschreiben. Aber hey, wenn du das gerade auf YouTube siehst, liken und kommentieren trotzdem. Schreibt mir, welches war euer Lieblingsalbum. Mein Lieblingsalbum, es ist schwer zu sagen, es sind viele geile dabei. Natürlich das erste mit dem Orchester fand ich super. Ich bin sehr gespannt, was sie jetzt beim zweiten machen. Aber Kill 'Em All, Justice for All und wie heißt denn das schwarze Album eigentlich mit der Schlange drauf? Ja, das schwarze Album, ey. Das heißt natürlich einfach Metallica. Ja, Set by True, Enter Sandman, Don't Tread on Me. Ja, natürlich eins der bekanntesten Lieder, die auch dann der Mainstream kennt und die auch jeder kennt. Natürlich Nothing Else Matters. Alter, eigentlich eine Metallica-Spezialfolge. Ich werde demnächst auch viel mehr Metal noch machen. Trash Metal, Metal, Rock, Techno, Gospel, Schlager. Nein, Freunde, Gangzeichen, damit alle wissen, das hier ist trotzdem noch eine Hip-Hop-Sendung. Das ist eine Hip-Hop-Sendung, Gangzeichen.